Hey guys, it's Chris, and we are back for one final tutorial for a Tetris Clone game. Unfortunately, I lied in the previous tutorial and told you guys it was the last one. I'm sorry for that. This is actually going to be the final one. We forgot one important piece in the last tutorial, and that is to handle a game over state. We want that if all of our pieces fall and they reach the top, the next piece that falls and extends over the top of the grid, we want that to signal a game over. Okay, so yeah, in order to do this, we have to do just a couple of things. So let's first jump into our game script, and we're going to add a new method, and let's just put this one here at the top. And what we need is we need to find out if any of the pieces lands above the grid. Okay, so we're going to create a method that's going to return a bool, and it's going to return either true or false depending on what we're passing in. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's create public bool, and we're going to call it check is above grid, and we are going to pass in the Tetramino class. Okay. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to iterate over all of the x values for the width of the grid. So we need a for loop. Okay. At every iteration, we're going to create a for each loop. It's going to create a Mino in every transform of our Tetramino game object. So basically we're looping over all of the individual Minos within our Tetramino parent. We are then going to create a vector2 reference position variable of our rounded Mino position. Then we're going to check that position, the y coordinate, and all we're going to do is we're going to check to see if it's greater than the grid height. And if that is true, then we are going to return true for check is above grid. And if all else fails and we don't get any of those, we are going to, at the end of our for loop, return false, meaning that we don't have any Minos currently that are above the grid. Okay. So the other method we are going to create in our game class is just a simple public method that we're going to call from a Tetramino class. If we do, if our check is above grid method returns true, we're going to call our game over method. And the game over method is simply going to load our game over scene. Okay, so now we've got these two methods created. We can go ahead and jump over to our Tetramino class, and let's see here, right in, yeah, we can put it right here after delete row. We'll go ahead and do a check, find object type. I want the game class, and we want to check is above grid, and if that returns true, actually we forgot one thing. We want to call our game over method, but we also have to actually pass in this class when we're calling the check is above grid method, because we want that method to check all the minos that are part of this game object that this class is a part of. So that should take care of it. So let's go ahead and save this. Let's have a quick look at our game over scene. See what that looks like. I bet we didn't do anything to it. Save our current scene, and our game over scene is completely empty. Okay. So let's quickly just let's create some UI stuff here. I'm gonna do a UI text. And let's double click on that to zoom in. And we're going to call this game over. Let's center that vertically and horizontally. And let's see here, it's the canvas. Yeah, that's very small. So let's make it a little bigger. Let's go like 300 in the width. Maybe, or let's do bigger. Let's do 500. And maybe 200. And center the X. And move it up a little bit. Let's make our font size a little larger. And alright, let's go ahead and add a button. Object UI button. Alright, so let's edit the text for that button. So we can play again. Okay, so as we all know, this button isn't going to work yet because it doesn't have a script associated with it. So let's create a script for it. We'll create a C# script. We'll call it menu system. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into here. And we've done this before, so this shouldn't be really new to you. But let's go ahead and delete our start and update methods. And we're going to create a public void. Since we don't have any return values here, we're going to just call this play again. And we don't need to pass anything to this method, so keep the parameter list empty. And all this method is going to do is application.loadLevel. And I think we called it, let's see, I think we called it level. Just verify real quick. Yep, it's just called level. Alright, so let's go back to our menu system script. And we're going to load level. Okay. Alright, so we've got that created. Close that script, go back to Unity, and go to our button. Let's scroll down in the list. I'm going to add, I'm going to create, actually, no, we need to create a game object, empty. Let's call this menu system script. Add our menu system script to it. Then go back to our button, scroll down, add the menu system script game object, and then change the function to menu system and call our play again method. Alright, so this scene now, as it is, we should be able to just click play on it, and it should go ahead and start our game for us. Or not. It's because we haven't added the game over scene to our build settings. Something we forgot to do. So let's go ahead and do that. So in File, Build Settings, also this is stuff that we have already covered, but I'm just going to show you guys again. We're going to add the game over scene to our build settings, and we're also going to add our level scene. Okay, so that these scenes actually get added to our final build. Alright, so close that. Let's go ahead and click play again. Error message is gone. Click play, starts our game. Okay, so now we've already added all the other stuff to the scripts that we needed in order for a game over event to happen. So let's go ahead and try to generate that. and bam, game over. And we can just start playing again and just do it over and over and over as many times as you like. It's not a lot of fun without scores or anything else. Another good thing about me creating this tutorial is that I actually thought of something else that can be added to this game to make it a little more fun to play. Right now, if you haven't noticed yet, but the only way you can get pieces to move really, really fast is if you continuously press the down button over and over and over and over again. Same thing with moving left and right. You can't hold down the button actually to get the piece to move because it'll only move one unit because we are using the get input or input.getKeyDown method instead of the getKey method. The thing about the getKey method is you have to be careful about how you implement that. Otherwise, your pieces just either will move too fast or won't move correctly like they should. So you're going to have to figure that out, create some timers maybe, just a couple ideas. If you have any questions, you know, I can definitely give you some pointers there. Other than that, this pretty much completes the tutorial series. For real this time, there are no more tutorials for this game. So that's it. That's the end. So hang on, let me clear these 4 lines. Okay, now I'm done. All right, I'll see you guys at the next tutorial series. Thanks. Bye.